Hello, welcome back. Purpose of this video is to do the second half of the answer key about how many sig figs. So let's just jump right on in. We're still doing how many sig figs. Here's the first half of our page. I'll show the full answer key again all the way at the end of this whole deal. But let's just do 11 through 20. 11 says 0.00030. So if you thought you were done dealing with zeros, a bunch of zeros. Okay, so you know with total confidence that that 3 is definitely significant. Good. There's no middle zeros here. These are only beginning and end zeros. And in this case, you've got a bunch of beginning zeros. Those all come before we hit our kind of measured, number that we're totally sure is a significant number. And then one end zero. And our tools for figuring things out, beginning zeros are never significant. They tell us, in this case, that this is a small number, but they do not tell us anything about the actual thing itself, aside from that it is small. So beginning numbers are never significant. There's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one of those numbers. Here's your end zero. End zeros are sometimes significant. They are significant if there is a decimal. In this case, here is your decimal. And that decimal, even though it's over there, that decimal means that this end zero is significant. And again, to wrap your brain around that, if that 0 was not written there, that would mean that we could see this place value and we're confident about the 3. Writing the 0 means that we're really confident about it. It's exactly 30 amount, whatever unit this is in. In math class, you would not need to write that 0, but since you did write that 0, it is a significant number because it means that you could see it. So we can see it as exactly 0.00030 amount that has 2 sig figs. Do feel free to ask stuff too if you're these are tricky. These are tricky. This next one, 1020010. At least you've identified the pattern. The zeros are what is weird. You know that 1 and 2 and 1 are all definitely significant. We've got a middle 0 right there. These are also both middle zeros. This one is between the 1 and the 2. These are both between the 2 and the 1. All 3 of these zeros are middle zeros. This is an end 0. End zeros are significant if there is a decimal. There is no decimal. That is not significant. That means it's approximately whatever this is. I don't even know how much that is. These are thousands. 1,020,010. Great. Approximately. If we had the decimal, we would know exactly. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sig figs. Great. Okay, this one has slightly fewer zeros to copy down onto your paper. We've got 780 decimal. And you've got the rhythm, that's an ending 0. There is a decimal that is significant. We know the 7 and the 8 are significant. There is a decimal, so that 0 is also significant. That has 3 sig figs. This question has this number. Those are all ending zeros. Ending zeros are significant if there is a decimal. You do not see a decimal because there is no decimal there. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are always significant, so that 1 is significant. But those are all ending zeros. What this means is it is approximately, like we're confident about the 1,000, but we don't really know anything more than that. That could be about, about 1,000, with no further confidence whatsoever from the original measuring tool. That might be like if you're using like a Nalgene, that some Nalgenes have markings on the side, but like assuming it doesn't, that would be like about 1,000 milliliters, about 1 liter of fluid. But with no other markings, it would be about that. Okay, number 15, 9, 1, 8, decimal 0, 1, 0. Okay. 9 and 1 and 8 are always significant. That other 1 is also always significant. You have a middle 0 here and an ending 0. Middle zeros are always significant. Ending zeros are significant if there is a decimal. There is a decimal. Therefore, that ending 0 is significant. That has 6 sig figs. 0.0001. It's got 1 sig fig. Those are all beginning zeros. Beginning zeros are never significant. There is a decimal, but that's only relevant if it is an ending 0. So this 0 comes after the other numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. That 0 is after all of them. That is an ending 0 after a decimal. Even though there is a decimal here, these are all beginning numbers. These zeros all say that that 1 is small, but they don't tell us anything about the measurement itself. 0.00390. There again, 3 and the 9 are definitely significant. These are beginning zeros and not significant. That is an ending 0. Ending zeros are significant if there's a decimal involved. In this case, your decimal is all the way over there, but this is still an ending 0 after a decimal. That is significant because of the decimal, even though the decimal is over there. An ending 0 after a decimal is significant. That one has 3 significant figures. Only 2 more new ones. We did 19 together. 18 is 18120. 8, 1, and 2 are significant. 0 is significant if an ending 0 is significant if there is a decimal. There is no decimal. That ending 0 is not significant. It's approximately 8,120. 19 we did together yesterday. Here's another one with scientific notation. And somebody asked in class yesterday, do we have to solve that? On Wednesday, you will know totally how to solve this, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, you're going to totally get it. But today, we haven't done that yet, and it's totally fine if you do not know how to write that long form right now, especially because all of those extra zeros are all not significant. In this case, this is a small number. We've got a negative exponent of 10. That's going to be a small number. And therefore, we're going to have a whole bunch of beginning zeros. Beginning zeros are never significant. The number of significant figures that we have measured will remain those 4. And last but not least, I like that they give you a question that you're like 1,000,000,000% confident about. especially by the time you get down here to number 20, you're like, that has 2 sig figs. And you're right. All right, nice work. Oh, I should do the whole key, starting from the top. So again, you might have printed this, but if you didn't, that's awesome. Writing it is helpful. You can use your notes all the time. I'm just showing the general key right here. If you want the extended talked through version, feel free to rewind. But this is a handy tool if you just want to check. I realized I did not underline. All of these are saying has some number of sig figs. All right, let me know if you have questions about stuff, and see you soon.